My childhood lesson has been taken from the main book of Abdul Kalam. That is, this lesson has been taken from Abdul Kalam's biography. That biography, Jeevani Wings of Fire. And the chapter My Childhood talks about the famous missile man, Abdul Kalam's childhood. He was the president of India and great scientist also, yes or no? We all know that he was known as Missile Man of India. In this lesson, we'll know about Abdul Kalam's upbringing. What is the meaning of upbringing? कैसा लालन पालन हुआ, कैसे उसको पाला पोसा गया, कैसे वो बड़ा हुआ, upbringing. So in this lesson we'll study about the great scientist APJ Abdul Kalam, and we'll know about his upbringing, how he was brought up in his childhood days. We'll come to know about his childhood days, school days. Also come to know in this lesson about his parents, about his siblings. Siblings means brothers and sisters. In this lesson also we will come to know about his friends and also the prominent thing in his life that influenced him in his childhood days. और महत्वपूर्ण चीज पढ़ेंगे, क्या अब्दुल कलाम के बाल अवस्था में उसको सबसे ज्यादा प्रभावित किया था, क्या उसके जीवन पर अमिट छाप छोड़ा था. So now I will discuss the summary of the lesson My Childhood. Lesson is from the book Beehive, class 9. पहला important point जानना है that this lesson has been taken from Abdul Kalam's biography. That biography name is Wings of Fire. He was renowned scientist. He gave so much to the space technology and missiles technology in India. He was 11th president of India. So Abdul Kalam was born in a middle class Muslim family in 1931 in one of the island town of Rameshwaram, which is situated in the state Tamil Nadu. In this lesson we will study that how Abdul Kalam was influenced by his friends, by his teachers, by his parents. His father's name was Janulubuddin. And his father was not very educated person, but inwardly he was very generous. बड़ा उदार व्यक्ति था वो, and very kind person. His father was not very rich, but his father did not leave any stone unturned in bringing up Abdul Kalam. कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ा अब्दुल कलाम को बड़ा करने में, पालने में. और he was very poor person, not very rich father. And his father provided a secure childhood to Abdul Kalam. अब जीवनी में हम लोग, biography में हम लोग पढ़ेंगे in the lesson. In the lesson we'll study that how Abdul inherited. अब्दुल को विरासत में मिला, क्या मिला? Honesty and self-discipline. He inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father, and faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother. माँ से क्या सीखा वो? Faith in goodness, दूसरों की अच्छाई करो. And deep kindness from his mother. दयालुता का गुण किससे सीखा वो? Kindness मदर से सीखा वो. Goodness अच्छाइयाँ. और फादर से सीखा वो honesty and self discipline. He was not from well-to-do family. Abdul Kalam had to work from his childhood days. बचपन से उसको काम करना पड़ता था. As Kalam was not from well-to-do family, he earned his living. He started earning from his childhood. And he earned his living first wages by giving a helping hand to his cousin, चचेरा भाई. What was his name? Samsuddin. Samsuddin कौन सा काम करता था? Distributed newspaper in Rameshwaram. अखबार का कारोबार करता था, distribution का. In that work, Kalam proved a helping hand. And for that he earned wages. उसको पैसा मिलता था. In his childhood days, he had 3 close friends. ये भी जीवनी में पढ़ेंगे. We also comes to know in the lesson that he had close friends whose name were Ramananda Sastri, Arvindam and Shiva Prakash. कैसी घटना के बारे में अब्दुल कलाम जिक्र करते हैं in his biography that when he was in his school days and he used to sit with Brahmin friends in the first row. A new teacher was there who in fact interrupted him and asked him to sit at the back row. ये घटना कब हुई? In the 5th standard. A new teacher asked him not to sit in the front row along with Brahmin boys. So Ramananda Shastri was a Brahmin boy who was close friend of Abdul Kalam. And when the new teacher ordered him to sit at the back row, Ramananda Shastri reciprocates by weeping. So this shows that how close Abdul Kalam was with his friend Ramananda Shastri. How he was not having any religion feeling or caste feeling. Yes or no? इसके अंदर घटना जब उसका दोस्त रोने लगा, when he was told to sit at the back row, scene made a lasting impression on Abdul Kalam's mind that he mentions in his biography. So in the lesson we'll also study that how he was greatly influenced by science teacher named Subramanya Iyer. So greatly influenced by his science teacher, Abdul Kalam learnt how to break the social barrier of religion and caste. समाज में कैसे धर्म का, जाति का बंधन को तोड़ें, कैसे सीखा वो? His science teacher, whose name is? He learned the lesson of breaking social barriers from him. One more incident that he mentions in his biography, that once his science teacher Subramanya Iyer invited him to his house for a meal. Subramanya Iyer हिंदू था, उसने इनवाइट किया अब्दुल कलाम को अपने घर भोजन हेतु. घर में क्या सीन हुआ? Science teacher's wife refused to serve food from her own hand because he was a Muslim boy. उसकी वाइफ जो है भोजन अपने हाथों से नहीं परोसी. क्यों? किसको? अब्दुल कलाम को. He thought that her kitchen would be impure. उसका जो किचन है वह अशुद्ध हो जाएगा. Subramanya Iyer served Abdul Kalam with his own hand. अपने हाथों से खाना परोसा और खिलाया. So this shows that he was really a ideal teacher. Yes or no? Who hadn't any social barriers in his mind. That should be the definition of a teacher. A teacher should not be biased. A teacher को bias नहीं होना चाहिए, पक्षपात उसके अंदर नहीं होना चाहिए. On the ground of caste, religion, तो सभी students एक जैसा होना चाहिए. Not only this, he sat down beside Abdul Kalam to eat his meal. कौन? Science teacher. Later on, the science teacher Tiba Subramanyam Iyer convinced his wife to serve the meal with her own hands, and thus was successful in changing her conservative attitude. So that day after meal, Abdul Kalam went home, but the science teacher tried to convince his wife that that was her fault. She has a biased mind. She has a barrier in her mind on ground of caste, religion, and slowly and gradually she got convinced. She changed herself. That means science teacher was able to get success in changing the attitude of his wife. Wife was having conservative attitude. लेसन के लास्ट में हम लोग पढ़ेंगे that how Abdul Kalam wanted to pursue his higher study to the city named Ramanathapuram. Yes. For higher education, Abdul Kalam wanted permission from his father to leave Rameshwaram, his ancestral place, native place, and study in the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. उस शहर का जो मुख्यालय था, सिटी था, रामानाथापुरम जाने का आदेश मांगा पिता से. His father said that Abdul had to go long way in life, just like a seagull bird that flies long distances. So when Abdul Kalam sought permission to go to district headquarters Ramanathapuram for higher study, his mother felt very sad. She thought that how he will manage alone there. इस पर उसका जो फादर था समझाता है उसकी माँ को. क्या कहता है समझाते हुए? That Abdul Kalam has to go a long way in his career, in his life, like a seagull bird has to make their own way. A seagull bird that flies long distances without any assistance of his parents. Similarly, he has the right, उसको अधिकार है, he has the personal attitude, personal interest to live life at his own. So he must be given freedom. ऐसा कौन कहा? Let him fly. He is your son. But he has a right to live life according to his own will, उसको अपने इच्छा से जीवन जीने का अधिकार है. He calmed down APJ Abdul Kalam's reluctant mother by quoting Khalil Gibran's poem Your Children. He said that her children could not be dominated by her because they had their own thoughts. So माँ को कैसे समझाया अब्दुल कलाम कि father by quoting a great poet verses. वो great poet कौन था? खलील जिब्रान्स योर चिल्ड्रन पोएम का कोट किया. उस पोएम का भाव है चिल्ड्रन शुड नॉट बी dominated by the parents' attitudes and thoughts. Children also are their own individual. Children also have their own individual likes and dislikes, dreams. So they must be given freedom. और आगे उसके फादर कहता है जिब्रान्स के ही पोएम के आधार पर they did not belong to her but were a result of life's desire for itself. उसकी माँ को कहता है उसके फादर योर चिल्ड्रन इज नॉट योर्स. आपके बच्चे आपके नहीं हैं. हर बच्चा का हर स्टूडेंट का अपना डिजायर होता है. दे हैव देयर ओन ड्रीम एंड दे हैव द राइट टू फुलफिल देयर ड्रीम्स. सो गिव देम फ्रीडम. लेट अब्दुल कलाम बी फ्री इन हिज थॉट्स, his desires. Abdul Kalam's father convinced his mother that Abdul Kalam must be given freedom to fulfill his own desire, his own dreams, to go ahead in life.